Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Donna and this is Bride to Be TV, the place to be when you are planning your wedding and hoping for a successful marriage, aren't we all? So today I wanted to talk to you about something I actually just read in an article, and if I wasn't having to use my phone to record this, I would look that article up just so I can be accurate, but I will link it in the description below. And it was an article about the average cost of attending a wedding for your guests and how millennials can't afford to attend weddings and having to turn them down because it's costing them around, I think it was £390 to attend a wedding, and they can't afford it. And I think that's a bit extreme as well for attending a wedding. And it just got me thinking about the amount of money that we are expected to spend on a wedding these days, or you know, based on what the average wedding costs, and how much our guests are expected to fork out, and how it just seems to be going up and up and up, and there doesn't ever seem to be this sort of ceiling on it. And what really worries me is the amount of money that people are spending on their weddings that is actually putting them in debt. So I really don't agree with going in debt for your wedding. If you've got to put your wedding on a credit card, don't do it. We all have our dreams of what our ideal day is going to look like, and we all want to have that day, but sometimes it's just not realistic. And at the end of the day, what you want is a beautiful celebration of the love between you and your fiance. That doesn't have to cost you thousands and thousands of pounds. It doesn't have to cost your guests hundreds either. So the top costings for your guests are the outfit that they wear, and accommodation. And part of the reason that accommodation is now so high on that list of costs for your guests is because they're having to travel for your wedding. They're having to travel to somewhere. We don't tend to get married so locally anymore. Also, you know, even if it is within driving distance, guests tend to want to come and have a good time and drink as much as they want. Obviously, you know, drink driving is a thing now, and it wasn't maybe, you know, 50 years ago. So with that said, you might want to think about this, and I think I've said this in one of my other videos, is thinking about where you have your wedding and the cost impact to your guests, but also to you. It can cost you more because you're going to have hotels maybe for 2 nights, 3 nights maybe, to get ready for it, and it's not needed. So I really want to encourage you to do a few things. One of them is to research wedding venues in your area, because you may well find there are some hidden gems. I know for a fact that I've recently done this. I was looking at getting married at a beautiful venue that's about an hour and a half away from us. And that may not be as far as some people are thinking of going, but it was still, you know, I knew that it would be an overnight stay for most people, and that it was also going to cost us quite a bit as a venue itself. And I knew that we were unlikely to be able to have the church wedding that I wanted. So the great thing about having a church wedding is it will bring you local, because you can't get married out of your parish generally unless you have some family connection to the parish you want to get married in. So I now live in a beautiful little parish. As you see, we have changed venues since the last video, and I'll come back to that. And I would like to get married in a church. So for me, I'm going to look at venues around here, and I found some great hidden little gems that I didn't even know existed. And ask friends and family of venues that they know of that do weddings, not necessarily that they got married at, but that they know do weddings. Because I had a friend mention one to me that didn't come up when I searched wedding venues at all, but it's a beautiful little venue. So you might be surprised at what you can find in your local area. And look at the options of more outdoorsy type weddings with marquees and bell tents and teepees, things like that, because they can work out a lot cheaper than having it in a hotel or a country house. And it means that you've got a bit more flexibility. You may know somebody who has a huge field that they're willing to rent out to you for next to nothing. And then you just bring everything on. It's a little bit more of planning for you and making sure that all these other vendors that you wouldn't normally have to deal with if you were in a hotel, but financially, the little bit of extra research and organisation might be worth it. And then for your guests, you know, they can get taxis home, club together and get a taxi home from somewhere that's nearer to home. So it could work out a lot better for your guests. And the last thing you want is, in this article, it says that people are actually losing friends because they're not attending their wedding, and it's not really fair. I think sometimes we feel like we should invite people, but we don't want them to feel pressured to come because you're feeling like you're pressured to invite them, and other people feel pressured to go to events, and they feel pressured to go to everything. So like for your hen and stag do that you're having, think about that as well. You know, these things used to be, as I've said previously, one night affairs, not whole weekends, not weekends abroad. This all adds up for your guests. And if you're going to be spending thousands of pounds, do you really want collectively your guests to have had to spend thousands of pounds to be there as well? For your guests, upgrading an outfit is the best way to get away with not having to fork out for a new outfit. Looking at changing it up, looking at going to a tailor and getting something changed on something is a lot easier. Going for accessories instead. So if you've got the little black dress, going for a change on accessories rather than a full-blown outfit might work. There are little things that you can do to make it cheaper for yourself. But what I really noticed was that of those 3 things that this article mentioned, it didn't say a gift for the bride and groom. And that's because we've kind of moved away from asking for gifts. It would be nice, I think, to go back to the more traditional route of being married in your locality, so people are more local and will save money that way, and just bring it back to a more personal affair. I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you care how much your guests have to spend to attend your wedding? Have you thought about how much your guests are going to have to spend to attend your wedding? And would you bring your wedding more local, or are you going further afield? Some people go further afield, but that's so that they don't have to invite anybody. You go off to Mauritius and you take your parents and your kids and that's it. And you have a big party when you come home, and that saves everybody a lot of money. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's your wedding, but I'd love to hear what your plans are. So that's the end of this video. We will hopefully be back next week. I'll be back on track for 1 a week now. But as I promised, I will just mention, we moved house in May, which is why I kind of disappeared for a while. We were moving, we were getting settled, or trying to get rid of boxes. Still not quite there yet. If you follow me on Instagram, you will have seen my home journey highlights, and you can go and check that out and see what we've been dealing with. Nothing too drastic. It's just been a nice level of cosmetic changes. So we got a brand new sofa when we moved in because the old one was over 11 years old and had seen better days, and we're just waiting for our dining table now for our dining room, and then hopefully I'll be able to get the office sorted. I've got a lovely new office that we decorated. It was the first room we decorated. We decorated before we even moved in, laid carpet, did the ceiling and everything before we actually moved in, because we knew we wouldn't be able to get to that room easily again once our tables and computers were in there. So that's where I'm planning on doing most of my videos in the future, but at the minute it's not looking too good, so I will wait for that one. Anyway, guys, it has been lovely chatting with you. Leave me a comment below. Let me know what you're planning for your wedding day venue-wise. Are you staying close to home or going further afield? And yeah, please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Hit that subscribe button and that notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.